Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back into my channel. So in this lab, we're going to configure a WPA2 enterprise for wireless LAN with the WLC. So before we do anything, let's show you this. This book is the CCNP Encor book, as it says here, the CCNP and CCI Enterprise Core Encor 305.401. So in chapter 20, this is where you will find this topic, and I'm going to provide you a link of this book at the bottom of the description page so you can have this book for free and be able to read that and understand the very depth of this chapter. So in chapter 20, it says that authenticating wireless client. So there is three of it: open authentication, authenticating with pre-shared key, authenticating with EAP, and authenticating with WebAuth. So let me just go ahead and go down and show different slides within this book of what configuration that we're going to do today. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. So the lab configuration purpose is strictly focused about this right there, which you see on this slide. So we're not going to use any CIL command, but we're going to log into Cisco and start doing our configuration. So, like I said, the reason I'm going so fast is the fact that you would have access to this, to the link of this book. So if you want to study and understand better about what is WPA2 with Cisco, you can have this book for free. And that also was a Word document that we prepared about this lecture today. But like I said, this lab is a very long lab, so we're not gonna have time to go over all of these. But you could always pause the video and read this article and make sure that you understand this. Now, just to avoid wasting time, because this is such a long lab assignment, so let's go ahead and jump. Go ahead and jump on this lab assignment today. So what do we have? We have the addressing table, devices, interfaces, the addresses. The lab objective is right there. You could read that yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to configure a new wireless interface on WLC, configure a new wireless LAN on WLC, configure a new scope, then configure WLC, CCNP, radius, WPA2, and the host. So connect the host with WLC. So, okay, so what that will entail is making sure that we have, so first thing first, let's read this so we may understand each steps. So each wireless require a virtual interface on the WLC. So these interfaces are known as dynamic interfaces. This virtual interfaces is assigned a VLAN ID, and traffic that use the interface will be tagged as VLAN traffic. So this is why connection between an access point and WLC and the router are over trunk ports. For the traffic from multiple VLANs to be transported through the network traffic for the wireless LAN and VLAN must be trunk. So now it says to open the browser from the desktop of admin PC. Open this. and then connect to the IP address of the WLC over HTTPS. So what's the WLC? Okay, I got it. It says connect. Okay. Let's do this. Space it. Let's hit go. Then let's put this in front of there. Then hit enter. Okay, guys. So let's make this bigger as we're going to work with this a lot until we're done with this configuration. We're gonna need this. Okay, so we hit login and it asks us for the username. For the username, let's copy it. Oh, sorry, let's copy it. Copy, paste, and then go to password. Now it says to click. Okay, first says login with the username, admin, and password. Cisco with capital C123. Click the controller and then click interfaces. So click controller. Then click interfaces from the menu on the left. You will see the default virtual interface and the management interface to which you are connected. So interfaces. Okay. So now it says click the new button in the upright corner at the page. You will need to scroll to the right to see that. Okay. Hit that. And then enter the name of the interface. We will call it this name. WLC-5, right? And then configure the wireless VLAN ID as 5. Let's do that. And then this is the VLAN that will carry traffic from the wireless LAN that we create later. So click apply. This leads to, let's click apply. Whatever. Okay. So there's a space here which we do not need. So let's make it. So then it says click apply. So first configure the interface to use the physical port number 1. Port number 1. So multiple VLANs interface can be used the same physical port because the physical interface are like dedicated trunk port. So the addressing interfaces is as follows. So the IP address, copy it. Yeah, IP address, paste the net mask, copy it, paste. The default gateway, copy it, paste. And then the primary DHCP server is the same. So let's grab it here. primary DHCP server. Now it says use traffic for the VLAN that use this VLAN interface will be the 192.168.5.0 network. The default gateway is the address. The default gateway is the address on the interface on router 1. So the DHCP pool has been configured on the router. The address that we will configure here for the DHCP tells the WLC to forward all DHCP requests that it receives from host on the wireless LAN to the DHCP server on the router. So be sure to click on apply to enact your change and click OK to respond to the warning message. Click save configuration so that your configuration will be in effect when the WLC will start. So it says click apply, hit OK, and then save configuration. And then we hit that. So now it asks us to configure the WLC to use the radius server. So WPA2 Enterprise uses an external radius server to authenticate. So wireless LAN users. So individual user accounts with unique username and password can be configured on the radius server. Before the WLC can use the services of the radius server, the WLC must be configured with the server address. So click the security, let's hit it. So click security and then click the new button. Click the new button. And then enter the IP address of the radius server with the server IP address field. So it asks us to enter the IP address of the radius server, which is this IP address. Let's see if we are correct. It says to click new. So the radius server, click new, enter the IP address, the radius server. So okay, IP address of the radius server is this. And then we got to put on the password. So, and then it says that before it will allow the WLC to access the user account information that is on the server, this requires a shared secret value. Use Cisco with capital C123. Confirm the share secret and then click apply. So, okay. So we go here, we confirm it, and then we click apply. This says, okay, a space in it, so please remove unnecessary space. Thank you. Okay, so let's hit apply again now and see. Oh, okay, I got it. Tell you what, let's just capital ISCO123. Tab, remove capital CISCO123. See, you're correct. Let's hit apply. So we're good now. Now, So the third step, it says to create a new wireless LAN, which we have done on the first lab simulation like this one. It says to create a new wireless LAN. Click the new, bang, 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 create. So enter the profile ID name, which is this. Sorry. So let's name this. And then we paste, we give it a so assign an SSID of that. SSID -5. Paste. And then you change the ID name to 5, right? And then when you are done, click apply to accept your setting. So we click apply to accept your settings. And then it says that to the wireless layer. And then, okay. So it says click apply to accept your, so you can fill. So it says now we got to enable, do this. To make sure that the wireless functionality, it is a common mistake to accidentally skip these steps. Choose the VLAN interface that will be used for the new wireless LAN that will be to the new wireless LAN. The WLC will use the interface for user traffic on the network. So click the drop down. So make this interface and group select. Okay. So all this, we done that. Now it says to click OK, gling, gling, gling. So it says to click advance. Then from advance, so scroll down to Flex Connect. So enable, Flex Connect. Flex local and layout, and then click apply. So we apply. Now on the fourth step, says we have to configure the wireless LAN security. So in this, instead of WPA-PSK, we will configure a new wireless LAN to use WPA2-enterprise. So click the wireless ID, click the wireless LAN ID on the newly created wireless LAN to continue configuration if it's necessary. So it says click the security tab under the layer 2 tab. That's this. Then we click the security, we take this one, that's what we've been told. And then it says under the parameter, under the WPA, under the WPA2 plus under the WPA plus WPA2 parameter, enable WPA2 policy, and then click this, so enable WPA2 policy. Then enable this 802.1x, right? Under the authentication key management, this will tell that, okay, I got it. So it says click on the AAA server, and then from here, we click that, we have this. So first server, this authentication server column, and then click apply to enact the configuration you have configured. Okay, click apply. Changing So changing wireless LAN parameter while it is enabled will cause the wireless LAN to be momentarily disabled. Thus, this may result in a connectivity change. Press OK to continue. Okay. So what do we do next? Okay, now on part 2, it asks us to configure a DHCP scope in SNMP. So configure the DHCP scope. So the WLC offers its own internal DHCP server. Cisco recommends that the wireless LAN DHCP server not to be used for high volumes of DHCP services. So such as that requires by larger user wireless LANs. However, in small networks, the DHCP server can be used to provide IP addresses, so LAP, which is that are connected to the wired management network. In this step, we will configure a DHCP scope on the WLC to use Z for address laptop 1. So it should be connected to the WLC GUI. Then click on controller menu and then click interfaces. So controller menu, interfaces, then click on management, then it asks us for the IP. So we already have the IP. So the primary, now it asks us for the IP address, which will be this IP address. It asks us for the mask, which is this, the gateway, which is this. Now it asks for the primary DHCP server. Now we want the WLC to use its own DHCP server to provide addressing to devices on the wireless LAN management network, such as lightweight access point. For this reason, enter the IP address of the WLC management interface as the primary DHCP server. So we're gonna enter the IP address of this for the primary DHCP server. That's what we've been told. Let's make sure there's no space. Then it says to click apply and then click OK to acknowledge this. So let's hit apply. Then we click OK. We click OK. Acknowledge any warning message that appears. So on the left hand menu, expand the internal DHCP server section and click DHCP scope. So expand this, click on DHCP scope. What else? So to create a DHCP scope, click new. Then name the DHCP scope wired management. Name it wired management. You will configure the DHCP scope to provide addresses to the wired infrastructure network that connected the admin PC, the WLC one, and the laptop one. So click apply. Then it says click the new scope in the DHCP scope table to configure addressing information for the scope. So enter the following information. So the new scope, which is this scope we just created. So it asks us for this. Put that in. Let's make space. And the end pool address is this address. Now the net mask is this. Let's grab this net mask. It's the net mask, but the network ID should be this. What am I doing wrong? Yes, there's a typo here. Let's go back down there. I'll go to the pool. There's a 0 that I'm missing. Now, network should be 0, and then the default router should be this. Let's say, but with 1. That's the ambiguity with this configuration. So you have to know that the network ID is this address and the default gateway is, the default routers is this. And make sure that you leave no space to get no error, because it's a long lab, and if you make an error, it can be a problem for you to troubleshoot this. Okay, it says to click apply to active. Okay, so apply. Then save configuration. Okay. Now it says the internal DHCP server will now provide. So it says the internal DHCP server will now provide an address to laptop 1 after a brief delay. When laptop 1 has its IP address, the cap WAP tunnel will be established, and laptop 1 will be able to provide access to the second floor employee, so SSID5 wireless LAN. If you move the mouse over laptop 1 in the topology, you should see its IP address, the status of the cap WAP tunnel, and the cap and the wireless LAN that laptop 1 is provided access to. So now we're going to configure CCNP. So click the management menu in the WLC GUI and expand this. So the management, CCNP, and where do we go? It says to click the trap receiver, and then click on the trap receiver and enter the community. It's this one. So click new, give it a name, give it an IP address. Let's make sure that we grab the IP, no mistake. Copy, space it. And then now it says to click apply. And save change. Okay. Now we gotta connect host to the network. Okay. So now, why don't we go ahead and check the result and see if there's a mistake. Okay. Okay, so far so good. All right. Now, it asked us to let's make this grand. Let's make this grand. Okay. Expand this a little bit. Let's go ahead and make this, shrink this a little bit. And let's make this grand. Okay. All right, so what it says here, it says to configure a host to connect to the enterprise network. So in the Packet Tracer Wireless Client app, you must configure the wireless net profile in order to attach to a WPA2 enterprise wireless. So click the wireless network PC. So it asks us to click this. Let's make this grand so everybody can see. Let's make this grand. Then it says to click wireless. Okay, so unfortunately this can't be bigger than this size. So it says that we have to click on profile, right? Profile. We have to click new. I'll give it a profile name. Let's make space here. Okay, let's cancel this. Let's grab this first. This is always a problem. Oh. And we click new. We paste the name. And we hit OK. Then it asks us to click on advanced setup. It says that verify that the SSID for the wireless LAN is presented and then click next. Click next. It says the wireless host should be SSID 5 if it does not move the mouse over the laptop 1 to verify that it is communicating with the WLC. So the pop-up box should indicate that the laptop 1 is aware of the SSID 5. If it's not, check the wireless configuration, the WLC configuration. You can also manually enter the SSID. So verify that the DHCP network setting is selected, then click the next button. So the DHCP, which this one, yeah. So it says select and then click the next button. Now it says what else? It says that in the security drop-down box, select WPA2 enterprise. So let's go. Let's select it. One down in the bottom. Then click next. Now it says that enter the login name. Let's take it from here. In the login username, let's copy it, put it on the login name, and then the password. Let's see if we can make this good. The password, this password, let's copy it, paste it, no space here. Then click next. Now it asks to verify the profile settings and then click save. So it says select. Okay, verify it. SSID, infrastructure, mixed mode, auto, audio bin, security WPA2 enterprise, which was the purpose. So the IP address should be automatically since on the SCP, no subnet, no default gateway. So it's on the SCP mode. So now it says to select the WLC net profile and then click. Now let's save first. So it's access. So it says select the WLC net profile and then click the connect to button. After a brief delay, you should see the wireless host connect to the laptop. You can click the fast forward button to speed up the process if it seems taking too long. Confirm that the wireless host has connected to the wireless LAN using the host, and you should receive an IP address from the DHCP that is configured from the router 1. The address will be 192.168.5/0/24 network. You need to click the fast forward fast forward time button to speed up the process. Now let's go back here as it says, and let's go here and let's connect. Just double check. Okay, so as you can see here, we connected now. Now, since we connect, it says that let's check here and see what IP address we get in. Let's go to the desktop. About to close this since we already connect. Now let's go to command and let's do an IP config. So there we go. We have an IP address of as we were told. So we said that we would have an IP address. So this address should be in 192.168.5.0/24. So any of them. So we get this one here on that 5.2. So you may also click OK. So it says close the PC wireless app, open a comment prompt and confirm that the wireless host laptop has obtained an IP address from the wireless LAN network. That network should be the address. What network should the address be explained? Well, it's good since the default gateway, which is 192.168.5.1, so the laptop one that connect to it should have an IP address of 2. So there go the default gateway. So we good. Now let's see what else. Yep. So now it says that ping the default gateway switch 1 and the radius server. What's the it says ping the default gateway switch 1 and the radius server. So let's go ahead and ping that. It's good. So it asks us to ping the default gateway and the radius server. Now let's go grab the switch 1. Let's go ahead and hit ping. What we do over, oh, sorry. So ping, and then paste this here. Let's see if we get access to ping switch 1. Let's see. Success indicate full connectivity within this topology. So let's grab this IP here too. Now we connect right here. Ping. So we get a ping. Now why not getting a ping from this? That's one. Let's double check it. Also, we good. Yeah. So we can ping the radius server and switch 1. So guys, that's pretty much all that this was a strong. So what are the advantages of the WPS2 over PSK? Well, it's stronger. And I mean the answer to this is the question they ask here is if you follow this, so wireless security and WPA, WPA2 and all of this. So and from the book too, you could answer this stronger. It's more robust. I mean encryption method. So yeah. So you see, if you follow along, if you read this article, you should be able to answer this. And if you want to, you could go, within the book itself and answer these questions. And so developed by the U.S. government to protect classified data. So he has compromised 3 symmetric block cipher, each cipher encrypted and decrypted data into blocks for 128 bits. So like I said, guys, you could come and so let's see what it's talk about WPA2 enterprise. Security flaws. Okay, so again, I apologize. This was such a long lab. I hope this was, helps. Um, so our attention is to always make sure that we satisfy your request. And so the main goal of these labs is not just, to be able to do these labs, but also be able to understand the very concept of these. So again, So this book is strictly, I mean, a Cisco cert guide for the CCNP and Core certification. So if you want, you could always stop by, I mean, stop at this page, and I'm gonna leave a link of this book so you could um I mean, download it or have it on your computer for free, especially when you're doing labs. So again, thank you. I'll see you in the next lab. Bye bye.